Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over all the new additions and changes that came to the Destiny database as a result of the 1.2.0 update. The update not only surfaced lots of new items, but also provided further information for existing items. There's a fair bit to get through, so let's begin. Let's kick it off with something really interesting, a new exotic weapon bounty, the Elder Cipher. Now, while we don't know what weapon this yields, we do know the steps. Step 1. Acquire the Queen's Cipher from a Queen's chest in an arena challenge, i.e. the Prison of Elders. Step 2. Return the Queen's Cipher to Arekkz. Step 3. Arekkz will summon you once the Elder Cipher is ready. So for that, I imagine it might be, say, like you need to go back into the arena, at which point you can then continue the bounty. Step 4. Return to Arekkz in the Reef. Step 5. Kill bosses in the arena. Challenge bosses are worth more. So again, you work your way back into the arena, and it seems that fighting bosses is then the kind of condition to complete this stage of the bounty. And the harder the boss, the more points you get. Then step 6, take the Elder Cipher to Arekkz in the Reef. And that is where it ends. So as you can see, this exotic bounty revolves around the Prison of Elders. Now, there was previously a bounty pertaining to the Fate of All Fools, and it required some pretty solid Trials of Osiris Crucible play. Whether that's still in the game, or whether Bungie repurposed it, I don't yet know, so I guess only time will tell. As for the Elder Cipher itself, if I had to guess, I'd say it probably most likely either links to the Lord of Wolves, given the connection between that weapon and Skolas, or perhaps the Fate of All Fools if it's been repurposed. Either way, once I have more information, I will let you guys know. Let's talk personalization. The patch reveals 12 new emblems and 10 new shaders. These are the emblems, and I've got to say that Wolf Hunter one is really cool. I definitely want that one, but also the Calibraker emblem. I'd hazard a guess that this might well come from defeating Skolas in the Prison of Elders on level 35. Then as for the shaders, here are all the icons, and I will actually have a video for you guys on day 1 of House of Wolves showing you all of these because I actually got to see them at Bungie, but I'm not currently allowed to show you just yet. However, that being said, the Destiny shader previewer has been updated with these, so I can actually show you what they look like on my character through that. Now, the colours in here don't really do them justice given that they don't have the natural game lighting applied, but either way it'll give you an idea. Now, there are honestly far too many weapons for me to list in this video, so if you do want to see the complete list, then check the links in the description box down below, but let me focus on 3 main groups. First up, Prison of Elders. These are the 10 weapons you can acquire as part of the prison. We know that Arekkz sells weapons, but whether he sells all of these again will remain to be seen. It might be that some of the better ones are drops, while some of the other ones are sold. But either way, from left to right, we have Wolf Slayer's Claw, Auto Rifle, 6 Dreg Pride, Hand Cannon, Wolf's Leash, Scout Rifle, Aegis of the Kell, Pulse Rifle, Vestian Dynasty, Sidearm, Wolfborn Oath, Shotgun, Shadow of Veils, Sniper Rifle, Servant of Axor, Fusion Rifle, Chains of Orbic Spell, Machine Gun, and lastly, the Last Rebellion, Rocket Launcher. The perks on some of these are still unknown, so for now, we'll just leave it with the names. Then for the Trials of Osiris, you have 9 main weapons, but there are also 4 additional weapons known as Adept. These are basically versions of the primary Trials of Osiris weapons that can carry Void, Solar or Arc elements, whereas the regular ones are just kinetic. I'd imagine the Adept ones are probably therefore much harder to get, but either way, that is pretty awesome. That means you can take the Trials of Osiris weapons and actually make them viable in a PvE scenario. And then on top of that, there's also a full set of Queen's Wrath weapons as well, and these drop in the Prison of Elders. They may also drop elsewhere, but from my time playing the House of Wolves, that is where I encountered them. It seems that right now there are only 2 sidearms, the Vestian Dynasty and the Dreg's Promise, the new exotic. And speaking of exotics, if you want to find out more about the changes to those, then I put up a video last night, so I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below, because that goes over all the exotics, both weapons and armour. Now, for armour, there's a lot of really cool stuff here, but once again, there's also a hell of a lot to go through, so let's focus on the important things. These are your armour sets for the Prison of Elders. From left to right, the Kell Hunter set for Hunters, the Kell Slayer set for Titans, and the Kell Breaker set for Warlocks. We've seen quite a bit of these in recent gameplay trailers, so let's move on. Next up, you have the Trials of Osiris sets, which as we all know look flippin' awesome. But the thing I wanted to call out is that there are actually 2 sets. Well, one complete set and one almost complete set. The main one, the one that everyone will be after, is the Exile gear. This is the fancy looking Egyptian stuff, but then on top of that you can also get, as random drops in the Trials of Osiris, the Watcher's set. Now this set doesn't have a helmet, so it's just gloves, chest and boots, but they do still look pretty cool. Then moving on from there, you have the Queen's Guard set. Now I imagine this will be very similar, if not the same, as the original Queen armour, so I won't hang on here too long, but next, this is really interesting. It seems that a brand new set of Iron Banner gear is also going to be coming to the House of Wolves. And I've got to say, from the icons, these look pretty sweet. I'm kind of gutted now that I never actually bothered to get the Iron Banner gear before, because this is like Season 2 gear, so it would have been nice to have both, but either way, I've got to say Bungie have really got in here. Given that all of these can be used as endgame gear, plus vendor gear once it's been ascended, we really are going to start seeing so much variety at the end game. And then on top of all of that, there's a ton of faction gear, but I'll leave you to look at that yourself. So, firstly, it seems that the story will have 5 main missions, but remember that we now have the concept of branching quests, so these may well include multiple stages and multiple locations. But either way, I imagine that this will be a similar length or a little bit longer than the story for the Dark Below. On top of that, there are a grand total of 23 new wanted bounties, like the ones we've been doing the past few days, which is a pretty big number, so it looks like there's going to be plenty of patrol content there. Then on top of that, the 6 different arena variations have surfaced for the Prison of Elders. You have Machine Wrath, Archon servants have raised their own corrupted servitor god, Arekkz Reborn. Defeat it and be rewarded. Then you have Cult of the Worm. Gulrot Unclean has been summoned by the Wormkeepers. Don't let the beast's filth spread beyond the prison. You then have Urux's Grudge. The Flame Prince Arekkz vows to burn the light until all that remains is darkness and bone. You then have Broken Legion. Balastarag seeks to prove his might by crushing all who challenge him. The Forever Eaten. Quadron, a Vex Chronivore, sees only one outcome, your demise. Prove it wrong. And then lastly, the level 35 one, Skolas' Revenge. Skolas and his crews challenge the Guardians who captured him. Face him with a fire team of 3, end him. So it seems like by reading that description, at the end of the story mission, as opposed to killing him, we'll probably capture him, he then gets put in the Prison of Elders, and at that point we then need to go and challenge him again. And also remember that these rotate on a weekly basis between the level 32 and 34 versions. The level 35 version always remains the same, so plenty of variety to keep you going. There are a few more interesting things that cropped up, but they didn't really fit into the other categories, so here they are. Firstly, it seems like the description for Zur has changed. It used to say, Zur comes and goes freely, his strange curios too valuable to risk driving him from the tower. And now it says, Zur comes and goes freely, his strange curios eagerly sought by adventurous guardians. Which probably refers to the fact that we will now see him in the Reef. The question is whether we'll see him multiple times a week in different locations, or whether on a Friday we'll just have to check 2 places. On top of that, the Mercury social space that used to be called the Halls of Amentet has now been renamed the Lighthouse. And while we have still not seen anything of this yet, I do wonder whether this is somehow tied to the 9th win in the Trials of Osiris. We know what you get for up to 8 wins, but not 9. So maybe this is a super secret location that Bungie are leaving for us to find out. And as well as that, another new Mercury location known as Calora Spires also surfaced. But that could well be something for much further in the future, so I don't think too much about that one just yet. Either way, that, my friends, is it. There was a hell of a lot of information to get through, so if you did stick around to the end, then thank you very much. Let me know in the comments down below if you made it. But either way, there are also a few other things that I didn't cover, like ships, faction gear, etc. So again, if you do want to see any of that in detail, then I'll leave a link to the various Reddit posts in the description box down below, so you can check them all out. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.